Looking over the past 13 years, I realized that I have had the best job in the entire world. It's difficult to explain because a lot of times people think, oh, United Way, that's, you gotta go out and raise money. Well, yes, you do, but you get to raise money meeting the most incredible people who are so philanthropic, they so care about their community. I get to do it with incredible colleagues. The staff that we have at United Way is like none other. We have great volunteers who help us through everything. And the most important thing is knowing that with all of that work, it comes together and it changes lives. And we use that term about, oh, it changed, over 130,000 lives. But that means 130,000 individuals, specific people whose lives are now touched by people they don't even know. And they got that hand up and not a handout. And how could something like that not give you goosebumps? That's pretty much the best job you could ever have.
Well, it's been a pleasure to work with Catrina, starting out the United Way board. She is a respectable person and has high integrity, and she does what she says and says what she means. But it's important for an organization like the United Way to have someone like that lead the organization for the donors in the community.
Oh gosh, working with Catrina has been so great. So when I first arrived in Corpus Christi, almost 3 years ago now, she just made me feel so welcome. It felt like I'd known her forever. So it has been such a pleasure working with her ever since.
My husband and I both personally support United Way of the Coastal Bend because we believe in the mission. And we believe that in the process of how funds are distributed by United Way, we believe in that. We believe that in the fact that it's donors who work with all of us to make those decisions. It's donors who have helped us identify what the greatest needs are in our community. And so I am confident in the process, and I'm very comfortable investing in that of our own personal resources.
I think Catrina's had a huge impact on this community. She has dedicated her life to working with nonprofits, to serving others, to really just helping the community be more successful, helping those in need. And that is something that's very unique and very special, and something we just need more people like Catrina.
Catrina and I figured out the other day that we've known each other for 34 years. We first met in 1985 at the women's shelter. I was there, employed at the women's shelter, and now the Purple Door. And she came on as a counselor there in 1985, I believe it was. That predates my marriage and both of our children, just for perspective. As long as I've known Catrina, her impact on the community has resulted from her involvement in the community. She has spent her career, obviously, working in this community, helping others. But in addition to her United Way role, she has served in various capacities that do the same, that have the helping spirit and helping mind in different ways. And I think that is admirable that her entire career has been spent working to better this community, and I think we all owe her for that.
I'm confident that we will continue to support United Way because we see the work that's been done. We see the changes in the lives of our friends and neighbors for the better. We see it as a way for thousands in our community to actually come together and impact positive change in this community. So how can you not want to stay a part of that?
I began working with her in July of 1998, so 21 years now. We met 2 years before that. It's freaky, but I know the exact date. It was July 5th, 1996. and I auditioned for Singing in the Rain at Harbor Playhouse and was cast in it, and Catrina was in that show also, and that's when we first met. And then a year later, I was in public accounting at the time, and a year later I ended up auditing the women's shelter where she worked at the time, and a year after that she hired me to be their CFO at the women's shelter. So I was there with her for 8 years. She came to United Way in January of 2006, and in April of 2006 she had me come follow her here. When Catrina became executive director at the women's shelter, they were going under. And in an amazing way, in barely a year, she completely turned that place around. If it wasn't for her, we might not have a domestic violence and sexual assault center in the Coastal Bend. Then when she came to United Way, things were a little rocky at the time, and she has worked really hard to get good infrastructure set to assure that we have transparency and honesty in front of our donors, and also to ensure that we are really keeping a close eye on those dollars that our donors entrust us with, and that the organizations that we're supporting are really performing.
Working with Catrina has been many things. It's been a learning experience. I think the thing about working in the nonprofit sector with her is her heart, and at the same time she's so very smart. She has long seen a nonprofit, yes, it's kind of a social enterprise, if you will, a social human needs organization, but her insistence that it be run as a business has made a significant difference in the sustainability both of this organization and the previous one, the Women's Shelter.
You know, I was really proud of the way that we changed how United Way gave out the grants, how we worked with our donors and tried to develop more of a relationship with them so that they could be fully aware of things. We really raised the bar around accountability and transparency. And all of those things were really, really important because it's what allows us to make a difference in people's lives. If we didn't have all of that in place, we couldn't do that. And then frankly, went one step ahead, and United Way was 80 years old in our community and had always rented its space, its office space, and I just saw that as kind of a waste. And so for almost 10 years, we very quietly worked on a process whereby we could own our own facility completely without debt. And that finally came to fruition 2 years ago, and we save about $60,000 a year in cost, and that $60,000 that goes right back out into programs. And so that meant a lot. It also affords us the opportunity to have a space where the community can come and be with us. It's not my United Way, and it's not one other person's United Way. United Way, the Coastal Bend, belongs to all of our community, and so I think it's great that we now have a space where we can invite our community to come and be active in their United Way.
I think the thing that I will take away the most from the time I've gotten to spend with Catrina so far, and I hope that I continue to interact with her in the years to come, but really it's just her selflessness and just how she gives of herself to the community and for the benefit of the community as a whole. It's an inspiration for me, and one that I hope to really to just take away from and do more of myself. I mean, that's what she has meant to me. I mean, she's really just been an inspiration in terms of how much she gives to others.
I would want people to remember that no matter how small their gift, they may think it's nothing, but a very small gift can make a very big difference. And you may not even realize how much that could impact someone that lives right here. And so don't assume that just because you can't give hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars or $1,000 that your $5 won't do something good.
I really enjoyed working with Catrina for 21 years. We've been through difficult times and we've been through great times of celebration, but even more important, she has been a real friend, and I wish her the best in her future endeavors. Sounds like I just fired her.
The Coastal Bend's a better place because of Catrina. We appreciate all she's done. She's a very good leader, very great person.
So on behalf of AEP Texas, our entire organization, and certainly very much from me, we wish you all the best in this new chapter in your life. Don't be a stranger, keep in touch, and enjoy yourself, have fun.
I am very excited about the future of United Way. The staff here is incredible. Under the new leadership, I know it's going to prosper. And I'm confident that United Way will continue to grow, and we need it to, because while we invest so much and we impact so many people, the need is still very, very great. And so I want to see more and more of the community join and be a part of United Way and part of changing the Coastal Bend for good.